Hi, how you do? Welcome again to Island Up in Sport. I'm Lenred Haney. I have with me Miss Keira Bodden, who will be sharing her story of sports and academic this afternoon, specifically netball. A bright young lady who is highly recommended for her leadership quality. Miss Keira, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
How you do?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not so bad. Tell us about your early life growing up in the Brac. How was it? Were you always involved in sports?
Yes, sir. So basically, growing up, my parents always put me in something. So from a young age, I think from 2 years old, I started swimming. I was in swimming until I think year 10. I always entered in the swim meets for school. Swim meets, we always went to Cayman. Then when netball was introduced,
All right, sorry, I don't want you to go netball
Okay.
because we're gonna talk most
Right.
of it on netball
No
because
problem.
I heard good things about you re netball, right? So you said that swimming was specifically the sport that
Yes, that was the main sport. That was my sport.
yes, and,
before
and
anything.
to be honest, swimming was like the king or the queen of the Brac.
Yes,
So
it
everybody
was.
has to do swimming.
Yes.
It was in primary school and you started from 2 years old.
Yes, my parents put me in it from I was young. I know how to swim from young.
I wish I was in your shoe really. Um, some persons stick solely to with academics. Why you choose sports and academics? Why you could have said I'm going straight to books. Why sports and academics?
I feel like me as a person, I need something, extracurricular. I was always in something in school. It didn't even have to be sports. I was always in school, always in my books, and I feel like it's a good thing to have and a good habit, especially when you go abroad. As I want to be a doctor, so
Right.
I have to put in the books, and I feel like hobbies. I love something that I always can do and depend on. If I'm feeling stressed, I'll go and do a sport,
Yes.
or I'll go after school painting. I used to do.
Right.
So I feel that's why I kind of did academics and sports.
So you were always involved in something
Yes,
then. If
all
it's
the
not where
time.
you do some painting and
Yes.
something, and I can tell you that if I'm really under any difficulty for me, I do sports. And sport is my remedy.
Definitely.
Definitely. All right. I was told that you were one of the main person who started the new era of netball in the school and Brac. Tell me about when the new coach came, Mr. Green, who was the former coach, and how were you involved? Because let's face it, netball was before. I heard it was 10 years, and 10 years I'm in a break, and then Mr. Green came. He talk about you, talk about your leadership qualities. Gonna come about to that. He said you're the one of the main person. Tell me about that.
So I literally remember being in class and hearing over the phone saying, "Oh, there's new netball practice happening this evening at 5:30." And I looked
Yeah.
at my friend and I said, "We're going," because I always wanted to try something new. I was
Right.
always willing to go into something new. So Mr. Green was my homeroom teacher, so I knew him a little bit.
Okay.
So when I went in the afternoon, I was like, this is interesting, because we used to have it in PE, but it wasn't as enforced, like the technique and how to
Yes.
play properly. I enjoy playing it in PE,
Right.
So I knew I would enjoy, playing it after school. It was definitely difficult learning a new sport, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. Like, it was something I always look forward to. I think it was every Friday and Wednesday we had
Wednesday,
it. I was so excited. I was like, okay, I'm going.
Yeah.
And I feel like as the years gone by, I felt like more confident in how to play, and I feel like that was a big part of it, as he always encouraged us. He always encouraged us, even like we didn't know stepping was a big thing, or how to throw the ball. It was a teamwork thing, but Mr. Green was a big part of starting this whole thing, because I feel like if he didn't push and didn't encourage other girls to come, and I feel like it wouldn't have gone as far
Gone
as
as
we
that.
made it, and I definitely would be a different person. I wouldn't be.
You
know?
mentioned something a while ago. You said about stepping, and let me tell you, I know netball, not to your extent, but it's a technical sport. Very
Definitely.
technical. One movement there, oh, pushing. One movement is stepping, right? You have basketball, you have girls football. Why that passion for netball? Why do you have this passion? I've seen it firsthand.
I just feel, I've tried basketball. I've entered football too, it's just something different. I
Right.
just feel like it's definitely a different sport. And I think it's not talked about enough and it's not big enough. And I feel like a lot of girls need to be more entered into it. So I want to be one of those people that make it more of a big thing in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
I want people to know that I am from Cayman Brac and that I worked as hard as I could as the other girls going, elsewhere. And
Yeah.
that's why I have such a big passion for it, because I want it to grow bigger. I want it to be more known. Oh, she plays netball. Instead of, do you play basketball? It's always, do you play basketball, swimming? They don't ever mention netball. I
Netball.
want netball to be something more big, especially from Cayman Brac.
Yes.
Like, know the girls from Cayman Brac who play netball. I feel like that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Okay, and you played when netball just started back. As I said, it was on a 10-year break and then it started. I remember the U15, the national U15 team came over, team from Ghana. You played against them. I remember you be selected as the MVP, most valuable player. How was
Yes.
that feeling among you?
I was very proud of myself. I feel like all the hard work and the determination I put into going into every practice, always trying to take in all of the things that they tell me. I feel like I really put in the hard work and I felt like it was being appreciated. I feel like that's
And
small and
against the national U15 team before. Tell me about your national days now, playing in the national team. What is the age group?
under 21.
Under 21. So you're officially Cayman Islands U21 national netball player.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So it's definitely way different from playing with the girls in Cayman Brac, as we're so limited and there's not that much girls down here. So like it was kind of harder for me to grow and extend how I played because I wasn't getting the competition, I would say,
Right.
because we were all on the same level, I would say. So as I left and I joined the team, it was definitely hard for me at the beginning because there were some girls that were already in the national team for like years. Some people just joined like me, but it was definitely a hard one. But I finally felt the competition, and it made me more determined, made me want to work more harder. And I definitely, this passion is getting stronger and stronger, definitely, as the years go by and as I play with my fellow teammates.
Just a question out of the box too. Did you know anything about netball before you started to play?
No, I didn't even hear about it before. It was never really.
Wow.
I just knew it. I knew it was a sport because we played it in PE, but I didn't know it like that.
But you didn't know the technicalities of it.
Definitely no.
And you have mastered it so that you have reached to the national level now?
Yes.
How far would you like to go from there?
As far as I can go.
National team?
As far as I can go.
And as far as you can go?
If I go overseas for school in the UK, I want to play in the UK. Represent.
And represent,
Yes.
right. Tell me now, Mr. Green, I did the first interview with him and he said, you have leadership qualities. I wouldn't know that. I just saw you as a young lady in the back, right? He spoke of you highly. He said you can organize the team, you get the girls come out. If it's something that needs to be done, he just tell you and you have it done. Where do these leadership qualities come from? How you master it?
I feel like it's definitely something that I've always had. Growing up, my mom always made sure that I was a very independent young lady.
Yeah.
So I have two little brothers, so I'm kind of on top of them all the time. So I feel like it's just something that just came with me, and I never really pushed it or anything, but I felt like I wanted, as my passion, I wanted it to grow bigger. So I wanted to encourage the other girls as well. So it's just something that really came out of me, just the passion and love for netball.
Yeah.
Just to encourage the other girls. So I think that's what it is.
And the leadership, and I remember I was watching a game. I when you just started, you were playing a tournament. I was watching, and I saw the leadership qualities, and I said to Miss Dion, I said to her, when she leaves, you're gonna have difficulty with leadership, and she said yes, because you're one of the who get the girls going, and so maybe I've seen it firsthand. Academics, we're gonna touch on academics.
All right.
Tell me now, why do you? Maybe I asked you before, but yeah, the sports and academic, pressuring.
Definitely, especially in high school, it was very difficult. especially to my last years in year 11 when we had to do our external examinations.
Mm-hmm.
It was very hard, but netball, when I looked forward to that, it was like peace. It was my break. It was my stress-free. So I knew, okay, I'm going to study, and then I'm going to go to netball, and I'll have my little break, and stress-free, and then I go home, and I know I'll study. But it was definitely a difficult one. It was something that I wanted to push through so that I know that I could do it. It's just kind of more like my mindset.
Right.
My mindset, yeah.
You're studying now, right?
Yes, sir.
How does it how is it now balancing because you have moved on from high school? How do you share your time between getting to practice netball and academics?
I definitely prioritize netball and academics over anything. So I make sure, like, when I do my classes, I make sure I do my work. I have kind of like a schedule for myself so that I know that if I can't go to netball, I'll make sure I go the next week. Or, you know, it's not as hard this year because college, you don't have as much classes as you do in high school. So I know how to balance. But definitely at the beginning of college, it was kind of hard because it was new. It was something new to me.
New to you, so you have to adjust, make a different.
But now it's definitely it's still my stress-free time. Let go of everything. Don't think about anything but netball. But yeah.
Okay, someone is watching now, right? Someone is watching this interview now, and I want you to tell the person why should you do both academics and sports.
Okay, so I feel like you should do both academics and sports because a balance is good in your life. If you just put yourself to academics, stress is going to come to you. Stressful, stressful, stressful. And you always need something to go to at the end of the day. You always need something that you're determined. If you're not doing good in school, you can always go to a sport. It doesn't have to be netball. It can be something that you love. So academics and sports is good. A balance is good in your life so that you can always have something to go to at the end of the day. Yes.
Okay. You spoke about your parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know your parent. They always see him dropping. I'm not familiar with your brother William more than you, to be honest. So I always know them. They always William all the mixed training. I know you too because you were on the other side. Tell me about your parental involvement, the parents' involvement with sports, supporting.
I am so thankful for God who gave me my parents because they definitely pushed us to be in everything. And you can see with my brother, he's in basketball. They're always encouraging us to do good in school, always encouraging us to push us and do our best in the sport, do whatever we can. It doesn't matter if it's a sport. If, like, for example, steel pan, they try to encourage us and to do different things to see what hobbies we would like because maybe you never know what will happen in the future and who it will take us to be. So I'm very, very thankful for my parents because they pushed us and they made sure we joined everything we could. Even with my little brother, I have a younger brother. He's 3 years old, and he's already going swimming practices.
Yes, and we looking out for him too for the other areas too.
Definitely, you're gonna see him. He's gonna be a track star, a basketball player. You see?
What him in the other areas.
But I feel like it's a good thing to always have extracurricular.
Yes, man, of course. Extracurricular, it has really helped, and you may never know. As you said, it carry through.
Yes.
And parents,
And
that
who you
parental support, yes.
Definitely.
Teammates, friends for life.
Oh, yes. I so many friends that I have met just by moving, just by traveling.
Yes.
From extracurricular, and I still talk with them today. Like, it's from people I go. So I used to be in girl guiding, for example, from time I was in year 2.
Yeah.
And we used to go to Grand Cayman to have camps.
Yeah.
And I met friends from time I was in year 2.
Until now.
Still now, I still talk to them.
Yeah. That's the
friends for
beauty
life,
of it.
people who you meet.
Meet, right. I believe it was last year or 2001 you were a guest speaker for
last year
year you were the guest speaker for
West End
Primary, your farmer school.
Yes, sir.
All right, I want you to tell me about community service. You've been involved, you're a young age guest speaker and all of that. Tell me about community service.
So basically, like I said earlier, I was in girl guiding, so that did a big part in community service because we were all about the environment, all about taking care of our earth. Community service, I feel like it's a big thing. When I used to do youth group, we used to go to the rest home. We used to sing songs, read books.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good thing to have community service, especially how they endure it in school now.
Mm-hmm.
To do your 10 hours, beach cleanups. In Cayman, you can walk dogs at society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a big part, and it's something good for the young people to help in Cayman.
And you believe in community service?
Yes, I feel like it's a good thing that they entered that into the
Into
school,
it.
because it, even the people who don't want to, it makes them have to do something for our island.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put you on the spot now. I want you to talk to the community. There are people out there who need role models, right? You're a young lady. I want you to talk to the community of Brack, the wider Cayman, and the world. Tell them, encourage them. Tell them to take a part of you where you are now doing academics and sports, and you want them to be on that road. Yeah, because there are so many different influences in the world. Talk to your peers. Talk to them.
So I feel like a big thing that you should do is make sure that you do enter into anything that you can. Find somebody that you want to be. Um, Find like a future. See something into yourself, because sometimes there's going to be down. You're gonna go low, but just to go low, you're gonna get higher and higher and higher, and you just have to push yourself and push yourself and push yourself. Because if you yourself don't push yourself, who else will help you? So you just need to do what you need to do just for yourself. Sometimes it's just good to be selfish, because you need to do what's best for you, and sometimes put others aside and do what is best. So I make sure that you're always doing good in school, and always push yourself to do the best you can, because it is always good to have academics and sports, and always have something to go to at the end of the day, like I said earlier. I don't know. That's
Thank you.
basically the good
Miss
what I have to say.
Keira, thank you very much, Miss Bodden. It
Thank
has
you so
been a
much.
pleasure talking to you. You know, when you talk to the young people who are setting an example, who are role models, who are academically inclined, then young people, you get a positive vibe. You believe that the society is going somewhere, right? And trust me, it is a refreshing, wonderful interview. I enjoyed so much. This is Island Up in Sport. I'm Lenwert Haney. I'm talking today to Miss Keira Bodden. She's a national player. I found out this afternoon, to be honest. She's a national player. Someone who was started about 3 years ago, came to the new program. I call this program R, and it is going places. Again, I'm Lenwert doing it. You need to subscribe. You need to go on the channel. You may never know where we are coming from. We are in the beautiful West End Park in Cayman Brack today. Until then, join me.